Willkommen. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sean Huggins and this is React with Hugs. And today we are here with real life lore. Check them out, linked in the description as always. And do you guys have something to tell me? You Germans out there? Do you guys have something to tell me? This is called the insane secret German plan to invade America. So, what the heck? What are you sneaky Germans doing? You sneaky Germans are over here making plans to invade America. And I had no idea. I should have known, but I didn't. So, we're going to figure out all of your secret plans and foil them, I'm sure. But we'll see. Anyways, this should be entertaining, so let's hop straight into it. Los geht's.
This video is brought to you by Cheddar, who recently launched their own new YouTube channel. Check out their video about electric fishing next after this one. Before defeat in the First World War, the German Empire under Kaiser Wilhelm II had a set of extremely ambitious goals. Wilhelm wanted Germany to control a colonial empire around the world that would rival the British.
Oh my gosh. Top 5, top 3, maybe number 1 best mustache of all time. At the very least, craziest mustache of all time. I mean, what in the name of Waluigi is this guy doing? Look at this. Look at this mustache. Wait, hold on a second. Bro, do you have Waluigi in Germany? Dude. This is his mustache. This is Kaiser Wilhelm's mustache. Bro. The real life Waluigi. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what they were talking about. As soon as I saw that mustache, I stopped listening. We got to turn it back a little bit. Okay, let's continue.
Wilhelm wanted Germany to control a colonial empire around the world that would rival the British and the French ones.
Okay.
But unfortunately, by the time of his coronation as Kaiser in 1888, most of the world was already claimed by somebody else in Europe. Pretty much all of Africa, Asia, and Australia were taken, so Wilhelm began turning his attention towards the Western Hemisphere and the territories of the Americas instead. He believed that the weak Spanish colonies of Cuba and Puerto Rico would be better off as German colonies instead, and wanted to take them to expand German influence in the Caribbean and eventually into South America. But there was only one tiny problem with that. America also thought that Cuba and Puerto Rico would be better off as American colonies. And even if they didn't, America still wasn't exactly the biggest fan of powerful European countries coming over and taking over islands right next to them. Wilhelm knew that if Germany was going to take over Cuba and Puerto Rico, it meant a war with the United States at some point. So he did the logical thing and decided that that was just too crazy and backed down, except no, just kidding. He ordered his military staff to draft up a secret invasion plan of the US instead.
Oh, damn. Okay, this is juicy already. So this crazy freaking Waluigi, he wanted to invade all the different little islands down here and then maybe into South America. And in order to do that, he was like, we got to invade the United States. They're not going to let it happen, so we need to invade the United States. Get me the plan. Put the plan in motion. Okay. This is crazy. I like this Wilhelm guy. Crazy mustache, crazy plans. Let's continue.
The secret plan went through 3 different phases of development over a few years, but this is basically how it would have played out if it ever were to have happened.
Years on this plan. I'm so excited.
Plan 1 called for a huge German fleet to sail across the Atlantic and engage the weaker American fleet somewhere and destroy it in a decisive naval battle. The German Navy would then attempt to blockade the US East Coast while battleships would sail up and down the coast of Virginia and other states to bombard America's ports and shipyards.
Oh, dang.
This would deny America the creation of more battleships on the East Coast to challenge the German blockade, and in the meantime, it was hoped the negotiations could be started with America being in the weaker bargaining position. The goal was just to get America to cave in to German demands for control of Puerto Rico or of Cuba.
So basically destroy the entire Navy, US Navy, blockade the entire East Coast of America, and don't let them recover, basically. And then hopefully America's like, all right, we don't care enough, you can have Cuba. Seems solid so far.
But the plan required a massive amount of ships that Germany didn't have. And then America declared war on Spain first and took over Puerto Rico and Cuba for themselves, which slightly changed the dynamic. The second plan, drafted afterwards, was basically the first plan but dialed up to 11. Rather than just blockading America and bombarding her ports, this time around, the Germans planned an actual ground invasion of the US East Coast with the Imperial German Army.
Dude, imagine a freaking ground force landing in America? Oh my gosh.
It called for an enormous fleet of 60 German warships, accompanied by somewhere between 40 and 60 troop and cargo transport ships carrying 75,000 tons of coal and 100,000 German soldiers with a huge amount of artillery to cross the Atlantic in just 25 days to strike the United States.
Oh my God.
Just like in the first plan, the German fleet was supposed to engage and destroy the American fleet in a decisive battle. Following that, a two-pronged naval invasion with the ground troops would begin, with the first prong being focused around Boston. German troops armed with artillery would be landed at Cape Cod, advance north towards Boston, and begin a siege of the city, making ample use of their artillery. It was hoped that Boston eventually would collapse and be occupied by the German army. At the same time, though, the much more important attack on New York City would be getting carried out to the south. It would begin with an amphibious landing of German soldiers on the Sandy Hook Peninsula in New Jersey, while the surviving German warships would work to bombard and destroy the significant American coastal defenses located at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn and Fort Tompkins on Staten Island, that both guarded the entrance into New York's Upper Bay. Once these were dealt with and the Upper Bay was swarming with German warships, Manhattan itself was intended to begin getting shelled by them.
Dang.
The hope was that American civilians in New York and across the country would be panicked by the German gains in Boston and New York and would begin to demand peace.
Yo, whoa. Bro, how are you going to get a bagel if you're getting bombarded? How are you going to get a slice of dollar pizza if you're getting bombarded? Oh my gosh.
Even Kaiser Wilhelm II knew that conquering America outright was too insane and far-fetched of a goal. The Kaiser just hoped that shelling New York and occupying Boston would further force America into that weak bargaining position, and therefore help to enforce his claims on Cuba, Puerto Rico, and maybe even a base in the Pacific like Guam or the Philippines whenever the terms of the peace deal were settled upon. But there were a number of glaring problems with these plans. It was noted that two major things were needed for a German success to happen: the absence of a major conflict in Europe and the unpreparedness of the United States. But by 1902, both of these conditions were rapidly disappearing. America appeared stronger than initially believed when she defeated Spain and took over Cuba and Puerto Rico for herself. And America was building battleships that was narrowing the advantage that the Germans initially enjoyed when the plans were first developed in 1898. Further, the British Royal Navy, which was the strongest in the world at the time, was also expanding, and a naval conflict between Germany and America an entire ocean away could enable an opportunity for the British to strike and destroy what remained of the German fleet. The German Navy never became equal to the British Navy, and neither did the German Navy ever even acquire the number of ships demanded for in the American invasion plans. And by 1904, Britain and France had essentially signed a light alliance, and Tsarist Russia and France had signed a firm alliance. With a great war in Europe looming sometime on the horizon, Wilhelm II decided to shift his and Germany's focus towards winning that war instead of pursuing weird colonial ambitions in the Americas. The secret imperial German plans to invade America were permanently shelved in 1906 and remained unknown to the public and undiscovered until they were randomly stumbled upon in a West German military archive in the 1970s.
Wow, okay. Dude, Kaiser Wilhelm. Crazy mustache, crazy ambition, crazy plans. Just a crazy dude in general, but bro, fascinating guy. I mean, I'm sure that there are a lot of plans out there from countries to, like, if they ever had to invade America or go to war with America, how they would do it. But, yeah, it's interesting to see what, back in those days, what the actual on-paper plan was, because usually you don't hear stuff like that, you know? Very interesting. But At any rate, that's all the time that I have for today. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave your mustard down in the comment section below. Share it with a friend and your neighbors and your dogs and whoever else. Thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.